Hey everybody, my name is Geoff Livingston. I'm CEO of Generative Buzz, and I'm here with Andrew Weiss. I believe you're the field CTO for the public sector at GitHub. Is that correct?
That's right, Geoff. Yeah, thank you for having me. So, doing a lot of really cool things at GitHub, supporting our government partners and customers, and really helping to drive strategy when it comes to AI and government. So, really excited to be here and excited for this event today, for sure.
That's awesome. Now, tell us, what have you thought of the conference so far? Like, what's your take on the general vibe, everything?
Sure. Yeah, the conference has been fantastic. I love that we've co-located the GovAI Summit with Code Forward specifically. There's just so many different areas right now that people are excited about when it comes to generative AI and AI in general. You know, talking about not just software development, but policy and IP and all the things that kind of come along with it. So really excited to be sharing with customers how we're exploring AI here at GitHub and how we're supporting the software development space, but then also, how we can work in partnership with government and academia to figure out some of these hard problems and unknowns that we're all kind of dealing with today.
Sounds good. Now, before we get into some of our questions, one of the bigger, I would say, successes of this year has been Copilot.
Sure.
And you guys have really helped a lot of people develop code a lot quicker using Copilot. Tell me a little bit about that story and how that's evolved for you guys over the past 6-7 months.
Yeah, and I think it actually goes beyond just the last 6-7 months. GitHub Copilot is by far our fastest growing product. We're over 1 million users right now on GitHub Copilot, with thousands of organizations and government agencies are already starting to adopt it today, which I think is really exciting. At GitHub, we've been actually exploring with large language models for almost a couple years now. We were some of the early researchers, backers behind large language models, and have been working with the OpenAI community and those research community folks for quite some time. And so bringing that into the software development space is super exciting. And we feel like it's kind of our responsibility to an extent to be stewards of this space and to help enable folks within this community to build software better and enable more folks to bring themselves into the software development ecosystem. So we're super excited about that for sure.
Fantastic. So in your mind, obviously we're already kind of dancing on this issue.
Sure.
How's generative AI changing the software development landscape? Like, how do you see it evolving, maybe time to market, quality, the whole 9 yards? Tell me about it.
Yeah, so like I said, we're opening up software development to a lot more folks that previously may have been apprehensive about building software entering this realm. So you look at entry-level developers and then being able to enable folks that are learning software development for the first time, maybe outside of college or within government or in academia. But then also enabling folks that are established, experienced software developers, being able to help them tackle hard problems that they otherwise would have been hesitant to tackle, at least in the short term. So we're seeing so many great use cases for generative AI, across government, everything from being able to write brand new applications to modernizing legacy applications and rewriting code from languages from decades ago. So it's very awesome to see those use cases come to fruition. And to be honest, we're discovering new use cases every day, and some that we haven't even thought about that are super prevalent in this space.
That does sound like AI in 2023.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, you mentioned being kind of like taking responsibility with AI. How do you see GitHub serving as a steward of AI with the government sector?
Sure. Yeah, and I kind of alluded to this before where, we feel like it's in our duty to an extent. Now, we're never trying to prescribe any one methodology or approach to writing software using AI, but because much of the world's open source software sits on GitHub and because so many folks are using GitHub day to day and leveraging a lot of the platform capabilities that it provides, we think that we have a lot of great use cases that can resonate across the government community and help empower developers within government. So for example, we recently published a white paper that we coined Empowering Developers using GitHub Copilot in Government. And it really highlights how government developers can identify some maybe lower risk use cases for GitHub Copilot and AI that allows them to get their feet wet, get enabled and acclimated to using AI for software development that doesn't incorporate some of those higher risk application sets. A lot of folks are very eager to bring AI into some of their more sensitive application stacks or legacy application stacks where you're not quite ready yet to an extent to bring some of those technologies in. So we're ultimately providing them with a pathway and a process and a methodology that we think really help enable them at scale.
Can you talk a little bit about the adoption path
Sure.
for a government agency, particularly with GitHub Copilot?
Sure. Yeah. So this definitely kind of goes multifaceted in that getting it into as many developers' hands is really key because when you start using it, you don't want to go back. I think of it like when we're driving around and using GPS to go from point A to point B. You could certainly go back 20 years and use a paper map and try to do the same thing, but more likely than not, you're going to use a GPS. And I feel like the same goes with tools like GitHub Copilot, where once you start using the tool and you have more of those aha moments, it becomes very hard to build software without it. And so getting it into as many folks' hands as possible is really key. And then what does that journey look like within a government organization? Everything from being able to train your developers on the tool to proper prompting of AI, specifically in software development, and then also not overlooking some of those key principles of software review and development that should not go away with AI. Things like software review, code scanning, vulnerability scanning, and so on and so forth. And many agencies today are still trying to evolve and establish a sound DevSecOps practice, for instance, or building fundamentals in software development. And GitHub Copilot can help you do that and really helps you establish that foundation. So that journey is definitely something that a lot of agencies are embarking on today.
Yeah, it's definitely sounds like it's a faster journey for government, which in its own right is miraculous.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. We've had some really awesome conversations with agencies, and just seeing all the excitement to bring AI into their development stacks. They're very much eager to revolutionize the way that they build software, and addressing a lot of that technical debt that exists within government is really key. And they see Copilot as one of the many ways that can help with that. So
sounds good. Now, I have a random question for you.
Sure.
My mom used to be an astrologer, so I can't help myself. I'm always thinking about the future. And we're about to have a new year.
Yeah.
So with that in mind, Andrew, what is your crystal ball prediction for AI in 2024?
Oh gosh, my crystal ball prediction. I think AI is going to be ultimately ingrained into literally everything we do now. My wife, for example, she's a civil engineer. She deals with a lot of mundane, monotonous tasks, dealing with both government and outside of government. And she was talking to me the other day how AI is already being used as part of her engineering plans in AutoCAD.
Wow.
She is not necessarily technology savvy, but she is very savvy when it comes to tools like AutoCAD for her industry. And I think you're going to see the same across many different industries, whether it's accounting or finance or legal. I think AI is just going to become, in some semblance, just part of everyday tasks and really change the way that we look at a lot of things. And I think that's going to happen a lot sooner than many folks are anticipating. For better or for worse, I think there's going to be some new challenges there that we'll have to figure out, but I'm personally pretty excited about what we're going to see in the next year. So
that's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Well, look, hey, I really appreciate your time today.
Sure.
Thanks for coming up on the stage.
Absolutely. Yeah. Thanks so much for having me, Geoff.
All right, Andrew. Cheers.
Take care.